Iowa's Caitlyn Clark became the leading scorer.
Is incredibly well controlled off of the bounce, absorbing the contact.
She didn't just play the game, she changed it. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a star. She's a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. And today, we're diving into 5 records she shattered that may never ever be touched again. Buckle up, because these stats are going to blow your mind. Let's start with the obvious one. Caitlyn Clark is the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball history. Not just for women, not just for her team. I mean the entire NCAA. She finished her college career with 3,951 points, beating legends like Kelsey Plum, Pete Maravich, and Antoine Davis. And what's crazier? She did it with a three-point heavy style, which means she didn't just score, she shot from the parking lot. Her range was unlimited. You'd see her casually pulling up from the logo like it was nothing. That's not just confidence, that's generational talent. Breaking this record isn't just about longevity, it's about staying elite, healthy, and insanely consistent for 4 years straight. And with today's players going pro earlier than ever, this is one of those records that might actually be untouchable. And that's just the beginning. Let's talk about her triple-doubles. Caitlyn had 17 triple-doubles in college. That's not just putting up points, it's dominating every part of the game. She was grabbing boards, dropping dimes, and still scoring 30-plus like it was casual Friday. Now think about this. She was facing double and triple teams every single night. Teams were designing entire defenses just to slow her down, and she was still putting up those numbers. Do you know how rare it is to get even one triple-double in college basketball? Most players go their entire careers without it. Clark made it look routine. Now I want you to imagine this. It's a packed arena. The energy is wild, and Clark has the ball. She dribbles casually past half court, and then bang, a logo 3. No hesitation. That's where she gets record 3, the most three-pointers made in NCAA history. Not just volume, but difficulty. She wasn't just spotting up in the corner. She was pulling up off the dribble with a hand in her face from NBA range. She made over 540 three-pointers in her career, and many of them were heat-check shots that would make Steph Curry proud. You can't coach that. You can't even defend that, unless you guard her full court, which, by the way, teams tried and still failed. And let's talk about viewership. Yes, viewership. Because Caitlyn Clark didn't just dominate the box scores, she broke TV records too. Her games were regularly hitting over 10 million viewers, breaking every previous women's college basketball record. She turned women's sports into must-watch prime time. Think about that. Her Final Four game against South Carolina? Bigger ratings than some NBA playoff games. She's the reason kids are now watching women's basketball with the same hype as March Madness men's brackets. That's legacy. That's influence. And you can't put a number on how many young girls and boys she inspired just by being herself. That's not a record you track in stat sheets. That's a record you feel in the culture. And speaking of culture, this last one is personal. Caitlyn Clark is the first player to lead the NCAA in both points and assists, not once but twice. That's right. She wasn't just out here scoring 40, she was dishing 10 assists a game too. She made her teammates better. She could have taken every shot if she wanted to. But instead, she read the floor like a seasoned NBA point guard. You'd see her throw cross-court no-look passes like it was second nature. And what made it even crazier? She did it while being the most guarded player on the floor. Double-teamed, trapped, face-guarded. Didn't matter. She saw everything before it happened. It's like she had the game slowed down in her head while everyone else was playing at normal speed. Now let's pause for a second. How many players have come and gone through college hoops? Thousands. Maybe more. And how many have even come close to breaking just one of these records? Almost none. Because what Caitlyn Clark did, it wasn't just about raw talent. It was about obsession. About showing up every single night, even when the pressure was insane. About carrying the weight of expectations, the spotlight, the media, and still showing up and delivering. And here's the thing that most people miss. These records aren't just impressive because of the numbers. They're impressive because of the context. She played during the most competitive and media-heavy era in women's college basketball. Social media criticism, packed arenas, national TV every week, everyone watching your every move, and still she rose above. You know how some athletes just feel like they're built different? Caitlyn Clark is that athlete. She doesn't just play the game, she forces it to evolve around her, and now that she's taken her talents to the WNBA, she's already selling out arenas, creating viral moments, and still breaking records before she's even finished her rookie season. Think about that. So the next time someone asks, why does everyone talk about Caitlyn Clark so much, just send them this video. Because whether you're a fan or not, you can't deny it. You are witnessing greatness, and these 5 records, they might just stay in the record books forever. And now, let's talk about the kind of impact that goes beyond numbers. Caitlyn didn't just break records, she broke the internet. The buzz, the highlights, the interviews, every moment she stepped on the court became a viral event. From logo threes to no-look assists, every play was a masterclass in confidence and skill. Her highlights weren't just popular, they were addictive. Millions watched, millions shared, millions believed. And that takes us to record 4, the most watched and followed college basketball player ever. We're talking about a player whose college games outdrew NBA matchups. Caitlyn Clark brought in viewers who had never even watched women's basketball before. She didn't just attract attention, she shifted the cultural landscape. Now ask yourself, how many players, male or female, have had that kind of gravitational pull during college? Every sports channel ran her clips. Every podcast had to mention her name. And let's not forget, ESPN literally restructured its schedule just to air her games. This level of viewership from a college player, especially in women's basketball, might never be replicated. Not because it's impossible, but because the timing, the narrative, the hype, it was all lightning in a bottle. You don't just repeat a Caitlyn Clark era, that's history. Now for the 5th and final record, arguably the most mind-blowing of all, let's talk about how Caitlyn Clark became the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history, men's and women's. Let that sink in. We're not just talking about surpassing women's legends like Kelsey Plum or Brittany Griner. We're talking about more points than Pete Maravich, the man who held the record for over 50 years. And Maravich did that in an era without a three-point line. But Clark, she did it with style. Deep threes, fast breaks, high IQ plays, all while being double-teamed, full-court pressed, and targeted as the one threat by every single opponent. She did it all in 4 seasons. No red shirts, no extra years, just pure firepower. And don't forget, while she was scoring, she was also dishing out assists like a point guard possessed. She wasn't chasing records, she was leading her team, she was carrying them. So ask yourself, how many players will have this kind of green light, skill set, basketball IQ, and staying power all rolled into one? The answer is likely none. Now, of course, records are made to be broken, or so they say, but some are carved into the game so deeply that they become untouchable. And Caitlyn Clark's resume is full of those. Her scoring? Untouchable. Her assists and triple-doubles? Legendary. Her influence? Unmatched. And her ability to bring an entire nation to its feet every time she pulled up from 30 feet? Iconic. Even as she heads into the WNBA, her legacy in college basketball is sealed. She's not just in the record books, she rewrote them. So next time someone says, yeah, but someone else will come along, just smile, because you were here. You witnessed it, the Caitlyn Clark era. And some eras, they only come once. If you loved watching Caitlyn Clark make history, hit that subscribe button. We break down the greatest moments in sports every single week. Drop a comment with your favorite Caitlyn Clark moment and let us know which record you think will truly never be broken. And hey, share this video with someone who still doesn't get the hype. Let's make sure no one forgets what we just witnessed.